I came up out of the water, raised my hands up to the Father. I gave it all to Him that day. Felt the new wind, kissed my face.
Well, if Daniel Larson singing the blues isn't enough to tell you he's having a rough time in New York, then maybe by the end of this video you'll understand that, because I don't think it's all sunshine and roses like Daniel thought it was going to be when he got there. He traveled. He took the long, long journey from LA to New York just in the hopes to see his one true love, Grace VanderWaal. Someone who Daniel's been obsessed with for years since she was a minor on TikTok. And so he went to New York, and lo and behold, no Grace VanderWaal. And you can tell Daniel's he's trying to convince himself that maybe I just have to jump through all these hoops to get to know her, but we all know what's going to happen. Daniel seemingly still isn't capable of understanding what's going to happen, but that's kind of the constant in Daniel's story. It's constant in a lot of these locale stories. They'll never understand the error of their ways. But who knows, because Daniel maybe seemingly has realized that he's made a mistake, because now he's trying to get back to Denver, his home. And originally Daniel, I think, wanted to go to Disney World. That's off the table now. And now he's trying to get back to, like I said, the place where he may know a few people who can help him out. I know that's where Bob Proctor is, but if you're going off what Daniel says, Bob wants nothing to do with him. And Bob being the last person in Daniel's life who would possibly give any semblance of a shit. It's kind of sad when you think about that, but once again, these are the shoes you put yourself in when you go down the route that Daniel has gone down. But with all that out of the way, let's see how this trip is going for him. Because last time we talked about it, he was getting in fights with store owners, got that that vicious scab on his nose that he was in the hospital for. And now he's out, he's just moping around the streets, and maybe we can get a good chuckle out of the antics that Daniel's been involved in. We're not really going to go in any chronological order here. We're just going to go at these videos that I randomly found on Daniel's new YouTube account and on the Daniel Larson Curators account. I'll link both of them, but just know that the link for Daniel's account is probably going to be null and void in a few weeks because he tends to go through these channels quite often. But yeah, let's get into it.
In New York, there ain't nothing you can't do. If you join me, we can do it all. Let's hear it for New York.
He kind of looks like Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle in this frame, but if you base it off of that song that he was singing, you would think that his time in New York has been grand, He's enjoying the sights, enjoying the One World Trade Center. You would think he's having a really nice vacation. But you'd be wrong, because this isn't a vacation. This is a quest for love. This is a quest for Daniel to get what he wants. Now, the problem with that is, the thing that he wants is a woman who doesn't want any part of him. Now, I don't even know if Grace VanderWaal knows who Daniel is. I assume she does, because her comment sections get flooded with Daniel Larson quotes, or just the name Daniel Larson. I mean, shit, or even Daniel Larson himself just floods them sons of bitches. But look, this girl ain't someone like me who makes videos on lolcows and people like Daniel. No, she's not she doesn't know about this shit. She's not wizened up to this stuff. She doesn't want any part of no shit like this. This is just a girl who Daniel saw on I think America's Got Talent years ago when she was a lot younger, and Daniel has kept that feeling for her going strong. And Daniel thinks that he's been in correspondence with the girl and her mom, who's I guess her manager. Daniel thinks that he's a part of their team, or wants to be a part of their team. I've heard him on occasion say that he would off himself if he wasn't a part of this very elusive team. It's not healthy shit. Nothing that Daniel is doing right now is healthy. Traveling all the way across the country for a girl you've never spoken to, it isn't healthy. But you gotta remember, in Daniel's mind, he has spoken to this girl. He thinks that he's talking to her all the time, but it's just some dude somewhere acting like it's her. And I'm not going to look down on no one and tell people what not and what to do, But, like, you know, you're really putting this girl in a very bad position because, like, it's proven that this guy will do anything to be with her. Like, I mean, look, he's gone all the way across the country just in hopes to do so. So if he ever does see this girl, he's just going to walk up to her and assume that, you know, they're lovers. They've talked about this a million times. Why in person is she acting any differently? And, it's just creepy, man. It's really creepy when you see someone like Daniel he's gone all this way. You can tell that in his mind he thinks that, like, she wants him. This girl is as in love with him as he is in love with her. And so the reason I'm trying to, like, beat this point home is that Daniel, I saw in his community posts, which he always posts, like, all the time, every day, which we'll get into later on in this video here, but he was posting things about why can't Grace Vanderwall and her mom video chat with me. I'm starting to believe that this isn't really Grace. And then just a few hours later, I see him saying things like, oh no, me and Grace are meant to be together. No matter what people tell him or how much doubt he has about it, he's never going to lose this. He's never going to, like, lose this infatuation because, I mean, like, look how long this is spanned. And if you're someone who's new to all this and you don't believe me on how delusional Daniel is about his, like, whole relationship with this girl, I mean, just listen to this clip right here.
Now, the Pornhub account in the year 2021, Grace would have been just turning 18, I think, that year. Now, what I find suspicious is I've heard rumors that Grace Vanderwall has an OnlyFans account. I've never found her OnlyFans account, though.
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but the way he words that tells me that he's been frantically looking up this, like, alleged OnlyFans for years. Probably just in the hopes that he will find one, then he can spend all the donations people give him for food on that said OnlyFans. And, you know, another thing is, they point out in that video there that she was 17 around this era Daniel was talking about with this, like, with this page he was looking for, and I don't know, man. Like, it's just, Daniel's been creepy about this girl even back to when she was underage. That's already been proven. But it's always creepy to hear him still say it now because he knows, like, everything about this girl. The fact that he's, like, being so, oh, I don't know, maybe she was 18 about her age, just shows that he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Even though he knows, he's not going to admit it because he just doesn't care.
I've heard a rumor that Grace's OnlyFans account was because she was supposed to be doing the Pornhub movies with me, and she had no one to do it with. So Grace Vanderwall wanted a relationship with me starting in the year 2020.
So, yeah, if he's implying what I think he's implying, well, I don't even know if he's implying anything, he's just outright saying it, but I think what he's saying here is that she wanted a relationship with him in 2020, correct? When she would be 16? Well, they were supposed to be making all these videos together, and because she couldn't find a partner, she was just doing OnlyFans, which, like, it's more stuff fed to him by, like, different trolls and all that, but the fact that he genuinely believes this is what's so baffling. Like, he's just some random guy from Denver who's made these TikTok videos, and of course he misinterprets all this, like, infamy as fame and that people know him and like everything like that. Like, you hear him last week's video telling people that his songs are on the radios and that Taylor Swift knows all about him and loves his music. So to him, this is all, like, completely, like, logical. The fact that she would love him, she would want to do all this stuff. But to anyone looking in, it's like, this is a man in his 20s talking about wanting a relationship back, like, a few years ago with a girl who was underage. It's just really weird thoughts that only someone like Daniel Larson would have. So Daniel also has a habit of posting YouTube shorts, which are just a picture of him with a funny title, like, Daniel Larson just got in big trouble because he's not making enough music sales / donations, which is, like, followed up a day later with this one of him that says, Daniel Larson just got Mexican food for the first time in New York, which, like, New York ain't fucking cheap, so he had to pay a bit on that, you know? I know everyone needs to eat, Daniel, but I mean, like, I'm sorry, he looks like he's at a pretty nice goddamn restaurant, and if you know anything about Daniel Larson, this is par for the course. Now, he probably didn't even pay for his meal, he probably just dined and dashed, but the fact that he complains about money and then posts pictures of himself out at nice places and all that, it's just, you can't do that. You can't, you just can't. Daniel also posted this one here where the title is just, you know, the same thing as he wrote on his head, Where I Am Sleeping at Night, which is just a bench. And look at the fearlessness on Daniel's face, the balls on this man, not giving a fuck if the ops know where he's laying his head at night. Like, this man seems like he's going to be taking on all comers, all trolls, anyone trying to step to him, even the Tickle Monster.
I'm friends with the Tickle Monster. By the way, I also sleep right here, so Tickle Monster, come and find me.
This man gives no fucks, just blowing up his spot to the entire internet. But, you know, apparently he's friends with the Tickle Monster. I thought they were going at it back and forth. It's good to see that Daniel doesn't have any, like, big name adversaries, you know, going at him. Or I can't believe I'm about to talk about this. Or does he? Because apparently a certain internet villain is on Daniel's case. And I don't know who told him this one, but just see if you can spot who we're talking about here.
So apparently there was also a guy involved in past management named Cryax, and he's pretty famous on YouTube. He's a YouTube villain, I should say, and easily manipulated. So apparently Cryax is the one that was leaking the news after apparently the Vanderwalls did the investigation and looked into that. So apparently Ivan is also in contact with Cryax or something like that, and has been manipulating him for years.
Oh no, that dastardly Cryax is at it again. This time he's leaking Grace Vanderwall's nudes or something. I don't know, but whoever had to put Cyrax in Daniel Larson's whole shit, I'm not gonna lie, it'd be pretty funny to see Daniel make the trek down to Akron to confront Cyrax, but I mean, we all know that'll never happen. Although, I gotta admit, it is a guilty pleasure of mine. I do find all these, like, lolcow crossovers that are getting ingrained into these different people's minds. It's pretty funny. Cyrax thinks that Perry Caravello is going after him. Daniel now thinks that this Cryax guy is a former member of his management. I guarantee you people are going to start sending that picture of Cyrax from the day he thought he was going to sign a record deal. They're going to send that picture of him in the shades drinking his chocolate milk. They're just ready to troll Daniel. So while the Tickle Monster is apparently a non-threat or, apparently a friend to Daniel, and Cyrax is fucking Cyrax, who else is left to combat Daniel in the streets of New York? Well, if we put 3 people in like a police lineup and asked you which one do you think attacked Daniel, which one would you point at? Would it be Cryax, the villain of YouTube? Would it be the Tickle Monster? Or would it be the African American woman holding a machete inside of a machete holding case? Well, from Daniel's point of view, let's see who the answer was.
The emergency, I just got fucking hit. I just got fucking beat.
Daniel then shows this horrifying picture of his beaten and mangled hand. I mean, the horror.
So, I just got attacked last night, and the person was African American female, wearing kind of like a tank top, barely anything on. Walked up to me, saw me, asked me if I could get them 1 cigarette, that they're diabetic, they need a cigarette, otherwise they're going to have a seizure. I said, I'm sorry, I don't carry cigarettes on me. They said I was being racist for saying that. The person was carrying a machete and just started going if you don't get me one cigarette, I will beat the living crap out of you. Get up now, take me to go get a cigarette. And then they started beating on me, 100 bats, pretty much. It was like a machete, but it was in some type of case. So when they were hitting me, when the person was hitting me last night, it was the case that was hitting me.
So this is the second time in the past few months that Daniel has alleged to have been beaten by some African American person in the streets. The reason I always have a hard time believing these is every time we actually do see Daniel get in an altercation with people, whether it be all those security guards in Vegas or the owner of that shop in New York, he always pulls out his camera to get the footage. I feel like if a person even came up close to him, he'd immediately whip out his phone and just start recording. So I think this is just another thing he's trying to do to garner sympathy. You saw that picture of his hand there. There was nothing really wrong with his hand. It just looked like maybe he was standing under a red like a light of a store or something, and he thought, man, my hand looks pretty brutal right here. Let me show the people and hope they give me some donations. Daniel does this a lot where he tries to garner sympathy from his audience, makes up these... Now, you know what, though? I keep saying making it up. I do feel like there is a pretty good chance this is true. And not even that Daniel brought it on himself. New York is filled with some crazy motherfuckers. This isn't really... I could easily see a crackhead coming up to Daniel and just harassing him until they gave him what they wanted, even if he didn't have it. So, who knows with this one, but the thought of some woman chasing Daniel around with... he claims it's a machete. I don't know. I doubt it was a machete. It was probably just maybe a cane or something, or maybe just I don't know, there's a piece of wood. Just this woman chasing Daniel around asking for a cig. I don't know. It's a pretty funny sight. And Daniel's really trying to get these donations up. He's threatening that, he'll never make music again. He's threatening a lot of things and just kind of trying to make it other people's problem to pay his bills, pay off his debt, because he's realizing that he's in a lot more debt than he originally believed. So Daniel also, as we previously mentioned, is trying to get back to Colorado. And, he needs to make that money and he wants to make these donations. I mean, shit, he's even back to doing jumping jacks to hope that people give him some money.
Thank you, Affleck, for the $50 donation.
I think he's just looking over his shoulder, keeping his eyes peeled, making sure no one sees him do this. That's why he's trying to do it so fast. On the other hand, though, you know how paranoid Daniel is. He could have just saw some dude walking down the street and immediately assumed this guy was coming to get him. I assume Daniel didn't stay in this particular spot very long. So Daniel's trying to figure out how he's going to get back to Colorado, and I think that'll be a pretty interesting story to follow and see how this all shapes up. I'd assume he'll find a way to get out there. I know he has some court shit or something that he has to be out there for. I'm not sure exactly what, but like I said, once all that happens, I'll be glad to keep y'all updated on that. So I was going to end it here, but again, I think it's always a fun thing to look at and just see what Daniel's up to by checking his YouTube community post, because he posts on there all day long. I mean, everything we're going to look at today, you will be shocked. This is only in a few hours of each other. I'm actually going to maybe piece together 2 or 3 days of this, but just know when he posts, he doesn't stop posting. So, probably as this video is releasing and you're watching this, he's frantically posting other stuff on that community post right now. But let's just start at some random point and we'll just see how many of these we can get through. Everything is about to explode in views. I'm sure it has no correlation, but I'm 99% sure he posted this while sitting across the street from the Twin Towers. Stop blaming everything on my live streams. I just bought $1 in stock. Now, Daniel loves to do this. He loves to get donations and then immediately put them in some different stocks and all that. Now, that's a really good idea if you actually know what you're doing. But for someone like Daniel, honestly, just download DraftKings and put $1 on a horse or something, Daniel. You'll probably have a better chance winning on something like that than just putting your $1 in a random stock and hoping that overnight you're a millionaire. I don't know what everyone doesn't understand because I do have a job. So Daniel, this man who's posting all these TikToks begging for donations or else he won't be able to eat while he's on the side of the streets in New York, a city he's never been in, like ever in his life, doesn't have any connections to anywhere to get a job or anything, is telling people, don't worry, he has a job. Oh yeah, he then says, we need more donations. So this man who, like, clearly wants people to know that he has a job, you need to give him some donations because he's not making any money. I just got in trouble for not having housing. Well, who would get mad at Daniel for that? Like, have you not seen his bench? It's fucking sick. I plan on getting a plane ticket today. Daniel then says, the end of the world is so near. Be prepared. What? Like, I don't know where that came from, but look, again, I have to stress, you are posting this while, like, just across the street from the World Trade Center. Now, I know it's not the early 2000s anymore, but I'm not sure what type of, like, if there's anything illegal against that, if you're going to put on a watch list for that one, Daniel, but you just got to be careful. Just got to be really, really careful. I need to pay for my warrants. I assume that's the one that he's going back to Colorado for, but don't quote me on that, not 100% sure. But not also does he need to pay his warrants, he needs to get back into the recording studio. Oh, and also, things are not looking good. Shocker. Fucking shocker. I just got in big trouble with a, like, swirly-eyed emoji. I just got the worst news about my phone bill. Probably that it's too much and he can't pay it, and you know if Daniel can't have access to his phone, shit's gonna get real bad for him. I need donations. My career is looking very, very bad. What are you talking about, bro? Taylor Swift loves you, your music's all over the radio, hit singles every single day, you're crazy, man. I just got kicked out of a bar. I just moved all of my money to stocks. Well, if we're to believe what he said earlier, that would be $19. I don't have a single dollar to use today for content. I just left the coffee place because I couldn't order anything. Yeah, probably because you put all that money that you could have bought, like, food with into fucking stocks. This one's one of my favorites. Daniel says, I need to figure out lunch, which is immediately followed up with, fuck breakfast. With an angry emoji. Yeah, you know what? Fuck breakfast, Daniel. Real men only need one meal, and that's lunch. I need donations. I need to get back to Colorado, which is what I presume he needs the donations for. And then he says, time for dinner. What? Time for dinner? Bro, we just went over this. No fucking time for dinner or breakfast. Bob and I are in another argument. Well, it's very good that you're miles and miles and miles away from him so that you can't beat him again like you did the last time. Daniel says, I'm angry. See, you probably would have taken that frustration and all that anger out on Bob. So, like I said, it's good you're not near him. Bob is angry at the Vanderwalls. Well, you know, if that's true, then he may be talking to a troll, Bob, because I think that dude is, I think he's wise enough to know that Daniel's not actually talking to the real Grace Vanderwall. I have potential proof about why I got attacked in Vegas as well, with a heart at the end. Daniel, up to right now, has never come forward with this proof. Highly doubt he will. It's just probably another thing a troll's feeding to him. Everything is about to change for the better. Well, let's hope it does, Daniel. Let's hope you get back to Colorado, get the mental health help you need, and let's hope you just stop this whole weird thing with Grace. And, well, never mind, because next Daniel says, I might have the reason why the Vanderwalls won't send video verification. And right there, that's all you need to see, my friends, to know that, like I said, he'll never change. No matter what people tell him, no matter how much people try to explain to him that he's not in correspondence with this girl, he'll never believe it. I mean, now he genuinely sits here and thinks, oh, okay, like this totally makes sense as to why they could never video chat with me. This totally makes sense as to why she could never just maybe respond to one of my comments on Instagram. This totally makes sense as to why, you know, like they just never have said anything to you. They've never made anything public about you, Daniel. And it's not because of the trolls. It's not because of this, that, and the third. It's because they don't want anything to do with you. And he's going to keep trying to, like, create this facade that, you know, there's something there between them, but he just needs to fight through it and get there. But there's nothing there. And Daniel is just going to keep traveling all around the world if he needs to try to find that love. And it's really dark when you realize it's a man who wants this love so bad that he's willing to go all around the world for this. And it's not even there. And all it is just a big elaborate fucking joke. And, it's the story of Daniel's a pretty sad one. But, you know, like I say, you bring this all on yourself, especially when you're a pedophile. People hate that shit. So, what is there next for Daniel? Does he go back to Colorado? Probably. I don't think after this trip to New York, he's probably going to want to keep going places for grace, but who knows? Who knows? He'll probably just go back, deal with what he has to do with his warrants and all that, and then back on the road again, probably to, like, Florida or some shit. Or maybe they'll tell him, like, I don't know, she's in England. He'll find a way there, you know? If there's a will, there's a way. And for Daniel, there is always a goddamn will. So I'll be pretty interested to see what happens with him now. So my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this one today. I apologize again for the long absence. YouTube had given me my first strike and I was gone for a week. Let's hope that doesn't happen again, but God forbid anything ever does. You can find me on SmokeyMcC too. It'll be linked in the description below. It's my second channel. A lot of the backups for a lot of the videos you might have seen in the past that you want to see again are going to be posted over there. Another person who I want to shout out is Daniel Larson Curator, and I do it in every video because his channel really helps make these videos a lot easier. So thank you to him. Go subscribe to him if you want to see what's going on with Daniel almost like as soon as it happens. He always has the good shit over there. And yeah, guys, always appreciated for y'all to support these, to watch till the end. And now I'm going to give my shout-outs. And we'd said before, you know, we're not going to mess with the shout-outs. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to keep it as we are. Well, in this video, I want to see how it sounds speeding them up. Now, it's going to sound a little funny, you know, that the voice sounds a lot more high-pitched and all that. But if y'all, the members, ain't fucking with this, we'll just go back to the regular way. I just want to see how people are and, like, what people think of different ways to go about this. So, again, thank you guys, thank you for all your support, and I'll see you on the next one. And with that being said, shouts out to
Vanessa, Scaly Schisms, Churlish, Adrian Lara, Alright Stingy, Randy Leahy, Wade Pauls, Trademark, Commander Louie, Krabby, Justin S., the Ghostbusters fans, Steve from Machete Squad, Vaga, Count Drugula, SK Rux, Bullet BP, Synthesist, Fat Potato, Dan Noodles, Emery, ATK Cast, Jason Breen, Philly B, Based Trucker, Robot Gorilla Man, Soda Joe, Seal Currently, Eric Estrada, Everborn, Jurassic Clark, Akita's Beat Fan, Cowboy Pete, Hillbilly Wizard, Sora Trash, Hurricane Salem, Prideful Jester, Cyanide Candy, Smokey's Dealer, Kiwi Bros, Griffin Shivo, Austin Vidal, Club Doom, Sarah's Van, Gryphon, Jay Avarice, Tilted J, Costai, Zangetsu Black, Jay Sorensen, Brady Gravy, GP Does, Super Comet Jizzler, Greg the Rich, TJ Traplordius, Grizzly Slug, Bob Skywalker, Just a Normal Bottle of Mustard, Ignatius Bartleby Arlington, Brazilian Dude, Snowshoes, Jelly, Black Meddler, Radon, MXAX, Isaiah, Dalton, Sky Fitzpatrick, Quantum Cat, Ronnie Willis, Grizzly Bear, Pubsy, Soul Reaper, Matt C, Manny, Boston Meadhorn, Sergeant Retro, The Red Scum, Barfunkel Shag Nasty, Peebra, Night Scraper, August Varney, Azrael St. Cloud, Nefarious, Cobra's Manky Tooth, Canadian Funkle, Skylar, Irma, Sleepy Sloth, Crushed Shadow, Viet Bong Vet, Logan Cole, Ja, The Mean Man Dan, Hod Toward, Coffee Moose, Dope and Smoke, What, Zuzu, Brandon, Kerma, Turg Burglar, Marshall Rogers, Minty Smith, Mr. Smith from LCA, None Ya Business, Pun Pun, Unicorn is God, Bro Follow, Sloth Thing, Danny the Foot, Blue Sapphire, Protoshock, Spiral Colors, Jammer X, Pastor Arthur Montgomery, Brutal Strudels, Dirty J, TNUC, TAF, Ian Corrado, Sword Brother, Brock Lobster, Nomags, Guru, Pineapple Pussay, Nate F, Larry Fishmas, Mr. Muda, Patat, Mrs. Starscream, Empty Bat, Mary Mattingly, Doc 703, Josh Dayton, Based Milf Slayer, The Locale Lounge, GH Champ, Bizarre Showcase, Rexo, Neat Life, LEP97, 100 Norwalls, Hoodie Bruh, Sludge Maniac, Night Shroud, Operator 5781, Bobby Queso, King of Town, Capybara Man, Dan Wolf, Draco the Golden, JB, Blackwing Gaming, Tiki's General Store, AB, Jeff Weber, Cherry, Joey Huey, Coonbender, Visual Vintage, Holly and Hell, Try Give Black Tiger, Alex, Esco, Blueberry, Psycho, Sydney Jones, LB, Benjamin, Vault, Kairos, Big Jim, David June, Sparks Epsilon, Toxic Avenger, Dominic, Jamie Rose, Logan Whatnot, Sneakzies, Extra Zero, Clyde Cash's Cash Stash, Mr. Krabs, Rowdy Oni, Drunk Serval, Peace, Lieutenant Blackbutter, Ziamara Moo, Cromlock, Guru, Victor D, Sebastian, Maxin at the Fort, I Eat Bugs and Plants, Dane Justice, For Real, Anti-CK, Trash Boat, That One, Stacy Newbie, DJ Cannon, Big Bad Gruff, Toxic T, Sadie T, Bob, Meatman, Shannon Rose, Dead Barbarian, Vish K, Kanka the Great, Depraved Grapes, A Random Stormcloak, Wet Floor Coney, Reb Zoomer, Hot Wheels, Dylan W, Thunderbaze, Hunter Cobb, Talia, Nico Bellin, Spooky, Dougal Johnson, Buttworm Wilkins, Chrisia Guibel, I'm sorry for butchering that one, Quinn Quimson, Cowboy Woozy, Windigo, Billy Bones, Ben Carson 2024, Hyena Man, Your Wife's Boyfriend, Tony Tokyo, Marissa, Peanut Mama, Antrust, CHX Carnage, Anton Levy, Rex 1 Kittles, Chat Creeper, Mr. Jinx, TARDIS, Full Thickness, Hashoop, Bimp Liskit, John Smithy, Cod Ranquin, Alex, BTF Nation, Shoop to Hoop, Chris Chan's Fanta Bottle Collection, Alexander, It's Sub, Old Man Bradley, Kira, The Mothman, Shekel, The Ghostbusters Fan, Nocturne, Kiwi Bay, Mint, Crafts and Cartoon, Corey Trevor, Calzone, Portuguese Horse, Weeaboo, Funky Weapon, Mage Hand Slap Fight, Andrew Guest, Weetabix, Chewy, Linguini God, Brandon Williford, Super Comet Jizzler, Hunter B, Zeepo, Dingbat, Raven, Horsepower Hour, Timbang, Metal Wolf, Irma, Coggles, Tequila Johnson, Young Voodoo, your boy B-Rob, Ephraim B, Crazy Kids, Laura Smith, Sharp Metal Edge, Sleepy Sloth, Project Spiral, Legendary Duelist, Vix the Pumpkin, Naz, WTF Wolf, Moo the Mogul, Kate, Mr. Spaghetti, Man Beast, Ja, Logan Cole, Some Frenchie, Shaggy Mane, Rated, Turtle Platoon, Alpha T, Plague, River Ranger, Frederick, B. Vinoich, Nappy Toast, The Black Bowser, Laura Fierce, JB Films, Ryan L, Avery the Wanderer, Shiloh, Robbie Mitchell, Pardon the Dust, Cario, Barbara Barbussy, Corrected Carlos, Was Dead, Alt Text Wolf, Burger Kerber, Your Psycho Ex-Girlfriend, Jackal, Kaito Mondrian, Bright Galaxy, Rodango, Artie Garcia, Jessica G, Bako, What, Wumpa, Brandon, Bard, Sinewave, The Zodiac, Sarah, Cow Wrangler, Conrad, Was Good, Ryan Tanner, Felix Fox, Deus Volter, Seraplex, Clear G, T-Jords, Big Burr, Fluffy, Soul Reaper, Hod Toward, Manny T, Makachi, Danny the Foot, and Let a Bitch Live.
Jesus, even speed it up, that's still like 5 minutes long, but to all my members, thank you guys so much for all your support. I'm forever in your debt. You know, you guys have helped me so tremendously. Like I said, can never thank yous enough. And everyone who's gotten to the end of this video, thank you so fucking much too. It always means a lot if you guys are enjoying these, and I really hope you are. And we'll be back at it real soon with a lot more Daniel content, a lot more content on Chris, tons of lolcows out there, and we got to start talking about them. So until the next one, y'all, I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see y'all then. Take care, guys.